upstanding to receive the procession. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, leading the procession this afternoon is the Secretary, Senior Ceremonials, and the Principal Assistant Registry Unit, Mrs. Basira Sadi. In the procession, we have Professor Ebele Ikekpeazu, Professor Mrs. Chika Onwasigwe, Emeritus Professor Basil Ezanolwe, Professor KK Don, Professor Linda Ogekoye, Dr. JKO Okereke, Dr. Emenora Veronica, Professor F.E. Ejezer, Professor Florence Orabweze, Professor S.I. Ofefule, Dr. Ngozi, Professor Uche Nawa, Professor C.C. Onyedu, Professor H.A. Ubu, Dr. Aneke Chinedu, Dr. Ike Moses, tuberculosis. Professor J.M., Professor U.C. Maduka, Dr. Hector O., Associate Professor A.U. Ago, Professor F.N. Chikuneke, Venerable Professor C.I. Ukafo, the inaugural lecturer and spouse, the Provost, College of Postgraduate Studies, Dr. Iyabi T.C., Venerable Professor C.I. Ukafo, Professor Ngozi Jesse, Professor Emmanuel Eso, Professor A.U. Chiwoba, Dr. Kedim Ega Egus, Venerable Professor Sam Ike, Professor Ugoke Eze, Professor Joachim Omeche, Professor F.O. Orabaze, Professor Ijomo Korokwo, Dr. C.O. Ogu, Professor J.C. Eze Oracle, Professor Ima Obikili, Professor Ifoma Nubisi, Dr. Uloma Mwogo. The national anthem, please.
Arise, O compatriot, Nigeria's call obey, to serve our fatherland with love and strength and faith. The labor of our heroes shall never be erased. To serve with heart and mind, one nation born, freedom, grace and unity.
The University of Nigeria song.
University of Nigeria, my alma mater. Hail and rejoice for the sake of truth. When young men and women to seek for knowledge. Hail and rejoice for the sake of knowledge. Where the nation's potentials broken and best. Hail and rejoice for the giants away. We're blessed to next along, our dreams come true. Hail and rejoice for the giants away. My alma mater, my alma mater. No more Andalus and Diaries, and greater now in science and in art, in all the realms of living, the world awards of life. University of Nigeria, my alma mater. Hail and rejoice for a lofty birth. The first city that excited the soul of green hills. Hail and rejoice for a beauty sake. University of Paduri, the pride of our land. Hail and rejoice for a
Permit me, while we're still standing, to make welcome for the opening prayers Venerable Emeritus Professor Ernest Onwasigwe.
Let us pray. Our most gracious Father, we thank you once more for gathering us together to celebrate, gracious Lord, that eternity will not be enough for us to come unto you with thanksgiving in our hearts. We thank you, gracious Lord, for this great day. We thank you for joining mercies. Above all things, gracious Lord, we pray for your blessings upon us individually and jointly this day. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit.
Thank you very much, sir. Principal Officers of the University of Nigeria, distinguished academics, members of the Fourth Estate of the Realm, my Lord Spiritual and Temporal, members of the press here present, lions and lionesses, ladies and gentlemen, it is with great delight that I welcome you to this very auspicious academic discourse, the 205th in the series of inaugural lecture of this great citadel of learning. Today, we'll be listening to a topic that says metabolic harmony and disharmony, balancing health and lifestyle. But before we go into that, permit me to introduce to us the members of the high table. Representing the chairman, which is the vice chancellor of this great institution, is the Provost College of Medicine, Professor Hyginus Ezegwe. Please, can we appreciate him? Also seated at the high table is the Deputy Provost College of Medicine, Professor C.C. Onyedum. The Chairman, Senate Ceremonials, Professor B.C. Wanguma. The Provost, College of Postgraduate Studies, Professor Obi Njoko. Please, can we appreciate him on the high table? We'd like to recognize past inaugural lecturers present. We'll start with Venerable Emeritus Professor Ernest Onwasigwe. Please appreciate him. Professor Chika Onwasigwe, the spouse, please appreciate her as well. Professor Ijoma, oh, I'm sorry, I can't see that, but Professor Ijoma I guess, please appreciate her. Emeritus Professor Basil Ezanolwe, appreciate him. My own very mommy, Professor F.O. Orabweze, please appreciate her. Professor F.E. Ejeze, please appreciate him. Professor J.C. Eze, Oracle, as is fondly called, please appreciate him. Professor Emmanuel Obikili, Professor Yuzobus Ezugu, please appreciate them. Professor Felix Chukwuneke, appreciate him. Professor Ugwoke Eze is also the Dean, FHST, and a past inaugural lecturer. Professor Uche Nawa, immediate past Provost College of Medicine, past inaugural lecturer as well. Venerable Professor Sam Ike, please appreciate him. Professor Ifoma Enemo, please appreciate her, past inaugural lecturer, Dean Faculty of Law, former Provost, former DVC.
Ezegwe, who is representing the Vice Chancellor, to go ahead and give the opening remarks and formally jumpstart the 205th Inaugural Lecture of the University of Nigeria. Chairman, sir.
The Vice Chancellor, Professor Charles Arinze Chukwu Igwe, the chairman of senior ceremonial, Professor Wanguma, the provost of postgraduate studies, past inaugural lecturers, professors emeritus, title holders, and those threatening to hold titles, academic staffs and non-academic staffs, and members of the press, lions and lionesses. You are welcome to the 205th Inaugural Lecture, going to be delivered by our sister, Professor Joy Ebele Ikekpeazu. The topic is Metabolic, Harmony and Disharmony, Balancing Health and Lifestyle. We hope during this lecture, we are going to hear how we are going to balance our lifestyle in order not to attract chronic diseases and cancers. We pray that the good Lord will guide her and wish her well in this endeavor. By this note, I declare this inaugural lecture open. Thank you.
Thank you. Please, let's give the chairman a better applause. And next, may I invite Professor Emmanuel Esom, who will read the citation and formally introduce the 205th Inaugural Lecturer of the University of Nigeria. Professor Esom, please put your hands together for him.
Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, please permit me to stand on the already established and existing protocol. It is with great pleasure and honor that I stand before this audience today to introduce this highly esteemed and distinguished scholar in the field of medical biochemistry and the 205th inaugural lecturer of the only University of Nigeria, Professor Joy Ebele Ikekpeazu. Professor Ikekpeazu's academic journey to academic and professional excellence, as short and straight as it seems, is as tortuous as his splenic artery. Born to the family of Mr. Rufus and Evelyn Ugochukwu, both of blessed memories, she started her academic journey at Central School in Boago, near Ogidi, in the then East Central State, now Anambra State. And due to her high cerebral endowment, in those days, she was allowed to jump 2 classes to complete and obtain her first school leaving certificate in 1973. In the same year, she succeeded in the East Central State Common Entrance Examination and proceeded to Girls Secondary School, Ogidi, where in 1978, she obtained her WASC. It is important to tell you, to inform this audience, that in that exam, she emerged the best in biochemistry, in biology and chemistry. And with this result, ladies and gentlemen, we are talking about a professor of biochemistry. And you can see that this result confirms what is written in Jeremiah chapter 1, verse 5. Today bears testimony to that. She then enrolled into the higher school of Federal Government College, Kaduna, and obtained her HSC, winning a prize for the best student in biology. In 1980, she gained admission by direct entry to study biochemistry in University of Benin. And from that year, she consistently won the best student prize in biochemistry until her final year, when she graduated as the best graduating students in her class. In 1984, she commenced her mandatory one-year NYSC program in Plateau State and served as a core member in military hospital, Rukuba Jos. Her flair for knowledge, the knowledge industry, also got her to a part-time engagement with the Department of Medical Biochemistry, University of Jos. And during this short encounter, the Unijos authorities discovered her and offered her an appointment as graduate assistant automatically. However, she is a jewel that nobody will want to toy with. The parents refused. And she had no other option than to obey the parents' wish. And he came down to Anambra State and took up appointment in a secondary school, Girls Secondary School, Ugwaba. When she assumed duty in Girls Secondary School, Ugwaba, with her excellent results, she felt that she should be allowed to teach the subject that he knows very well. But the dichotomy of not having Bachelor of Education came in, and they put her to go and teach integrated science. She is somebody who cannot be challenged with what the brain can offer. Because of this, she decided to enroll for a PGD program in education with the University of Benin immediately. And that qualified her to be a teacher in all ramifications, so that nobody can now say, because she doesn't have this certificate or the other, she will not teach what she knows very well. However, towards the completion of this program, UNTH advertised for basic medical science teachers in the School of Medical Lab. And she applied for that position, went through a rigorous interview, and was appointed as lecturer 3 to teach medical biochemistry to the students of School of Medical Lab, UNTH. And then came another challenge of professional qualification. Those who did not have their lab science certificates suffered dichotomy. They were not paid core duty. And she didn't see any reason why she would belong to a relegated class. Ladies and gentlemen, she threw away all pride. She threw away all knowledge and took the gown of humility and enrolled for a graduate internship program with the Medical Laboratory Science Council of Nigeria, finding herself in the same class with the students she was meant to teach. You can see humility. And this program she pursued, and by the time she took the exam, she emerged the best student, won the prize as the best student in chemical pathology, which is her area of specialization. And this qualified her for the core duty allowance. And Prof. Ikekpeazu rose through the ranks to principal lecturer and then the deputy head of school. Her unquenchable passion for knowledge stirred her to enroll for an MSc degree in medical biochemistry here in UNEC in 1994. And she completed that program at record time, again, emerging as the best graduate, MSc graduate in medical biochemistry in UNEC. After this, the Department of Medical Biochemistry, where she is a professor now, offered her a job. But she looked at the core duty and all the things that are agreeable to her in UNTH and rejected the offer and went back to UNTH. Yet, in fulfillment of Jeremiah chapter 1 verse 5, NUC closed down all School of Medical Laboratories in Nigeria in 2006. And Professor Ikekpeazu saw reasons to join UNN instead of abandoning her divine call to impart knowledge. That is when the turn to UNN came. In 2008, she joined the Department of Medical Biochemistry as Lecturer 1, and in 2017, she was elevated to the rank of Professor of this great university as one of the impact factor professors. We know that they say that a golden fish has no hiding place. Professor Ikekpeazu is an astute scholar, a golden fish that cannot hide, a virtuous wife and mother, prayerful as you see her, as well as an amiable friend to all who come in contact with her. She has many scholarly publications in national and international peer-reviewed journals, many of which are in University of Nigeria recognized impact factor. She has presented several papers in national and international scientific conferences spanning through biochemistry, nutrition, neuroscience, and medical laboratory sciences, environmental and occupational health and safety, among others. Her contributions to science and her passion for teaching earned her the coveted International Brain Research Organization, coveted 10th Teaching Tools Workshop in Neuroscience in Africa, which is jointly sponsored by International Brain Research Organization, International Society for Neurochemistry, and the Grass Foundation. And that fellowship took her to Entebbe in Uganda in 2017. She belongs to several professional bodies, among which are member, Nigerian Society of Biochemistry and Molecular Biology, member, Association of Medical Laboratory Scientists of Nigeria, member, Nutrition Society of Nigeria, member, Society for Occupational Safety and Environmental Health, member, Society for Neuroscientists of Africa, and while in the University of Nigeria, Professor Ikekpeazu held several positions, including exam officer for 6 years, from 2010 to 2016, acting head of department 2016 to 2017, and head of Department of Medical Biochemistry 2020 to 2022, and then she is now the Dean, Faculty of Basic Medical Sciences 2022 to date. She has also served as chairman and member of several university committees, several college committees, faculty, and departmental committees. She has served as a senior examiner to several universities in biochemistry and medical biochemistry, both at the undergraduate and postgraduate levels. She has also served as NUC accreditation panel to many universities across the country. She has a very dedicated staff. She has got 2 awards and honors that are related to her active participation in service to the University of Nigeria. In 2013, she won the award of Certificate of Excellence for outstanding performance of duty by the College of Medicine, University of Nigeria, Enugu campus. And in 2014, she won the Vice Chancellor's Award for the most hardworking academic staff of the Faculty of Medical Sciences. Vice Chancellor, sir, Professor Ikekpeazu is a woman of many parts. She's a dedicated community developer, an ardent Christian. She has held numerous positions of responsibility outside the University of Nigeria. From 2004 to 2008, she was Secretary, Association of Medical Laboratory Scientists of Nigeria, UNTA chapter, and Financial Secretary of Association of Medical Laboratory Scientists of Nigeria, Enugu State chapter, General Secretary, Architects Wives Association, Enugu up to date. The Anglican Diocese of Oji River recognized the numerous roles she played with her dear husband towards the development of the church and evangelization, and elevated them to the order of Knight and Lady of the Church. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, the citation I am meant to read would defy the rule if I say everything that I should say concerning this great woman of virtue and substance. I rather opt to promote myself and do what John the Baptist did in John chapter 1, verse 29. Whether it is a simile or a metaphor, Prof. Obikili and Ejezie will tell the audience later. And to that fact, Mr. Vice Chancellor, permit me to invite this colossus of our time, an astute academic, a profound researcher, a dutiful wife, and a prayerful mother, an outstanding teacher, a community leader, a virtuous woman, a personality of many firsts, the 205th Inaugural Lecturer of the only University of Nigeria, Professor Joy Ebele Ikekpeazu.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Professor Sum, for... In fact, you have cut my journey short because I wanted to go around. I promised myself I was going to tell my story, but you have already done that. Thank you very much. The Vice Chancellor, University of Nigeria, Nsukka, Professor Charles Ariza Chukwuigwe, ably represented by the Provost College of Medicine, Professor Hyginus Ezegui, the Deputy Vice Chancellor, CFO, and the Provost College of Postgraduate Studies, Professor Obi Njoku. Principal officers of the university here present, the deans of faculty, directors of institutes and center, past inaugural lecturers present, eminent professors emeriti, revered professors, heads of departments and units, distinguished academics, administrative and technical staff, fathers of faith and religious, members of my family, gentlemen of the press, distinguished guests, great lions and lionesses, ladies and gentlemen. I feel greatly honored and privileged to stand before you on this day, the 23rd of May, 2024, to deliver the 205th inaugural lecture of this great university. I believe this lecture will have offered me an opportunity to tell you the story of my academic journey, which has been told by Professor Tum, which wasn't a straight one like you have seen, as I had to do a mid-career change after almost 2 decades from a different environment, which looked like starting an academic journey or life all over again. But I'm here standing, and to God be the glory. I believe my story should be a source of inspiration to many who may now or in the future find themselves in my situation, and to give them hope, never to give up, but to pursue their dreams until they get to where God has destined for them. Life in itself is always not a straight line. They're full of complexities and intricacies. However, with God, all things are possible. So I wouldn't repeat what Esoma has told you because she has done a very good job of that. So I will go straight to my lecture. But before I go into the lecture, I would like to dedicate this lecture to my loved ones who are no longer alive. First, my late parents, Mr. and Mrs. Rufus Onweku Gochukwu and Evelyn Gochukwu, who gave their all to raise 7 amazing children. My late brother, Professor Anthony Gochukwu, who was until his death a former provost of Medical College of Medicine and a sitting commissioner of health in Enugu State, and his lovely wife, late Evangeline Olonwa Gochukwu. And then to my elder sister, late Dr. Mrs. Rose Chikoli Okechukwu, who was a director in Naseni, a branch of Federal Ministry of Science and Technology, and her late husband, Sir Aziki Okechukwu. Now the lecture. Now, selecting this topic for today's lecture, which is metabolic harmony and disharmony, was not an easy one, because I know that many of you here are not interested in the area of biochemistry, because you don't like biochemical pathways. But those are the pathways of life, and there's no way you can escape it. Then my love for metabolism, which I believe is a habit of biochemistry, and its intricacies was a driving force and happens to be my major area of scientific research. And I strongly believe that this lecture may be very informative for those who may desire some lifestyle changes for a better and healthier life. I'll use the following outline for my lecture. I hope it's being projected. Is that outline being projected? ICT. Okay. Historical background of and definition of metabolism. Let's go elementary. Why are you alive today? You are alive today because you have taken something that has made you to be alive today. And what is that? A balanced diet. Simple as it may look. If you don't eat for about 70 days, you will no longer be here to tell the story because you would have gone down to your grave. And so what happens? Simple biology. The food is ingested, it is masticated, digested, absorbed, transported by blood to the various tissues of the body. And in the cells of the body, something happens. That thing that happens that will enable us to get energy, enable us to do our various work, that is the story of metabolism. And so metabolism was derived from the Greek word metabol, meaning change. And so it encompasses all biochemical processes that occur within an organism to maintain or sustain this life. Now, the concept of metabolism dates back to the ancient Greeks, where philosophers like Aristotle pondered the transformation of substances within the organism. And then by the 19th century, scientists like Frederick Wohler, Joseph van Liebig, Louis Pasteur, and Claude Bernard began to unravel the intricate biochemical pathways involved in metabolism, and then elucidated the role of enzymes and chemical reactions in the process. And then came the discovery of ATP by Albert Lippmann in 1940 as the energy currency of the cell. And it was this that revolutionized the concept of metabolism. And today, our understanding of metabolism continues to evolve, with many ongoing research shedding light into its complexities and significance in various fields, such as in medicine, nutrition, and biochemistry. What is metabolic harmony and disharmony, which is what we are talking about today? Metabolic harmony. It simply tells us that we could have a balance, and it refers to a state in which the organism's metabolic processes, just like I mentioned earlier, are in equilibrium, ensuring optimal functioning and homeostasis. Now, in this balanced state, the body will efficiently process the nutrients which have ingested, will synthesize the various molecules that are needed for us to live, and then produce energy which we use on a daily basis. And so this equilibrium is usually coordinated by various metabolic pathways, including those of carbohydrates, of lipids, and of protein. So we can safely say the metabolic harmony encompasses the balanced functioning of all physiological processes. What is a disharmony? Disharmony or imbalance, on the other hand, occurs when there's a disruption in the normal function of metabolic processes, leading to deviations from optimal state. And this imbalance can result from various factors. It could be genetic, it could be environmental, it could be lifestyle choices, it could be underlying health conditions. So we can say that disharmony refers to an imbalance or dysregulation of metabolic processes. Why is it important for us to balance metabolism for health and lifestyle? First is weight management. The calories that we consume on a daily basis, we need to convert them into energy and not store them as fat. Because if we store them as fat, you get fat, and that results in obesity and other health challenges. Then there's also a need for those nutrients which we have taken in to be converted into energies for us to have energy levels at every point in time should be optimal. And of course, I've mentioned digestion and absorption as part of the component of metabolism. And so there's every need for the nutrients which I've taken to be digested. So digestive health is important. And then also absorption of these nutrients are also important. And then blood sugar regulation. When the blood sugar level goes up, there's a need for the cells to take up the glucose from the blood and ensure that we have a balance of blood sugar. Of course, we cannot do without hormones, because hormonal balance is very important in metabolism. And we also know that metabolism is important to repair body tissues and all that goes with it. And so it can help us in longevity and can slow down the process of aging. So, balancing metabolism is essential for overall health and lifestyle optimization. Now, what are the factors that influence metabolic harmony? Top on the list is diet and nutrition. First of all, we have the macronutrient balance. You see on the body, you will see carbohydrates, you see proteins, you see fats. You will not say that you want to take one more than the other. But if you have a balanced, if you consume a balanced diet that includes adequate amounts of each of these macronutrients, carbohydrates, proteins, and fats, it ensures that the body has enough energy and building blocks, which it needs to maintain metabolic harmony. What about the quality of nutrients? Consumption of nutrient-dense foods containing all the essential vitamins and minerals and antioxidants and phytonutrients are essential. And then the type of fat that we take in is also important to support metabolic harmony. I've already told you about blood sugar regulation. And so when you consume complex carbohydrates with what is called good glycemic index and then fiber-rich foods and balanced meals, it can help you stabilize your blood sugar and support metabolic harmony. Meal timing and frequency. Timing and frequency of meals also influence metabolic harmony. So if you incorporate a balance of all the macronutrients in each of our meals and snacks in a day, at regular time, the emphasis is on regular time of the day, it provides the sustained energy that we require to support our metabolic function. Then hydration. Adequate hydration is very essential in supporting metabolic harmony because water plays a lot of roles in the body. It's important for nutrient transport, which I mentioned earlier, important for waste removal, even important in temperature regulation. So it's important that we stay hydrated by drinking plenty of water throughout the day. What about micronutrients and metabolism? Micronutrients such as vitamins and minerals are the ones that provide the cofactors and coenzymes which require in various metabolic pathways. So consuming, you can see some of the ways we can obtain those minerals listed. By consuming a diet rich in micronutrients, it ensures that the body has necessary cofactors to support efficient metabolic process. What about physical activity and exercise? When you exercise, you increase your energy expenditure by burning the calories, and that gives us energy deficit that helps us to maintain weight and balance our weight loss and maintain balance. Because by doing that, you're burning the fats that should make you to become obese. The muscle fat and metabolism. Engaging in resistance training and strength training exercises helps us to build and maintain lean muscles, which can support metabolic harmony. Then for cardiovascular health, aerobic metabolism such as exercise such as running and brisk walking and cycling and swimming improves cardiovascular health by strengthening the heart and circulatory system. And then there are also some other benefits of aerobic exercise, such as lowering of blood pressure, improving our cholesterol level, and reducing the risk of heart disease and stroke. Insulin sensitivity is also important because it allows cells to efficiently take up glucose by responding to insulin and helps to maintain the blood sugar level. And then it also helps to increase the basal metabolic rate. Hormonal regulation is also important because there's no way we can carry out any metabolic pathway without talking about regulation, particularly those ones that regulate appetite and stress. So optimizing hormone and exercise contributes to metabolic harmony and overall well-being. So incorporating physical activity into our daily life can support metabolic health and contribute to long-term illnesses. Sleep and rest. If you look at that board, you will see a list of all the things you could do in order to the benefits of sleep and rest. One is hormonal regulation, which I've talked about, energy metabolism, which I've talked about. It also ensures that the hormones that regulate appetite, ghrelin and leptin, are in equal concentration, and the muscle recovery and repair during sleep. The sleep also helps us to reduce stress and helps in brain function and cognitive health. So sleep and rest are essential components of metabolic harmony. So if you prioritize adequate sleep and restorative rest, it can support metabolic health and contribute to overall well-being. Finally, genetics and predisposition. The different people have their different genetic profiles, which is hinged on what they inherited from their parents. And so can have different metabolic rates, which affects our nutrient balance, our energy expenditure, and hormone regulation, and susceptibility to different metabolic disorders. And then we also have the epigenetics, which are other factors that could influence the expression of the gene. Then we'll go over to metabolic disharmony, which is where I will now dwell more on, because that is my area of research. What is metabolic disharmony? I've already said that this disharmony is characterized by disruption in metabolic processes, and it can stem from various causes. I've mentioned lifestyle changes, I've mentioned genetic issues, I've mentioned other acquired causes. So for the interest of this lecture, I've classified them into two. We have the genetic causes and we have the acquired causes. For the genetic ones are the ones that are genetically determined. And so I won't talk much about them because that's not my major area, but I've listed them for the sake of knowledge. We have those ones that are called inborn errors of metabolism, which I said before are genetically determined. It could be of those of carbohydrates, or of lipids, or even of the organelles like mitochondria and lysosome, and then other hormonal disorders, and even the metabolism of purines and pyrimidines. Then the vitamins and minerals also have their own. And we also have other multifactorial disorders, including mitochondrial DNA deletion syndromes. And permit me to now go into the area which is of interest to me, which is at the acquired causes. Most of my research work are considered as stemming from these causes. I've classified them into 4: oxidative stress and chronic diseases, lifestyle choices, physiological causes, and environmental causes. Let's start with those ones that stem from oxidative stress and chronic diseases. Now, what is referred to as oxidative stress has been implicated in the etiology and even in the management of several diseases, top on the list being diabetes mellitus. But before I go into that, I would like to explain in layman's language or in a layman's form what I mean by oxidative stress. Now, the body by normal metabolism generates what is called the free radicals or reactive oxygen species. It's a normal process. You cannot run away from it, and those are endogenous factors that release these oxidants. And then we also have exogenous factors. Every day we expose ourselves to radiations and all kinds of pollutants in the atmosphere, even cigarette smoking and alcohol consumption. And these ones also generate what is called reactive oxygen species. How does the body deal with it? The body tries to induce some antioxidants, endogenous antioxidants. Most of them enzymes, like SOD, catalase, and GSH. These ones are the endogenous antioxidants which the body synthesizes within itself. And we also have exogenous sources of these antioxidants, mainly from vitamins and flavonoids and others. So what happens? These antioxidants try to neutralize the effect of the reactive oxygen species. And so when there's a balance between the two, there won't be any problem. But if there's an imbalance, whereby the ROS is now generated more than the antioxidants, favoring the free radicals, then there's a problem. That is what we refer to as oxidative stress. And it can cause a number of issues. It can cause lipid peroxidation, DNA and RNA mutation, protein peroxidation, even all kinds of cellular damage, and that results in some diseases. Now, what can we do about this? How do we evaluate this oxidative stress? I've mentioned lipid peroxidation. One of the products of this lipid peroxidation is MDA, malonyl dialdehyde. So if there's raised level of malonyl dialdehyde, it tells us that there could be oxidative stress. Then we also have what is called the total antioxidant status, which measures both the exogenous antioxidants and the endogenous antioxidants. So with these two, the TAS on one side and then MDA on one side, we can now evaluate both and see whether there's a balance or an imbalance. And that will help us to see whether that condition can generate oxidative stress. Now, these are the sources of the antioxidants, which are mainly exogenous sources of the antioxidants which the body can use to fight these free radicals. Now, let's now go to the study that we did on diabetic patients. Now, in the management of diabetic patients, one of the things that you evaluate is their response to treatment. And how do you do that? By looking at not just their blood sugar level, but what is called glycated hemoglobin, which is called HbA1c. Now, this lactated hemoglobin gives you an indication of the average glucose level of the patient over 2 to 3 months, not just one of fasting blood sugar level. And so that's on the side. Then it's been shown that raised blood sugar causes chronic, of course, raised blood sugar gives us what is called the chronic hyperglycemia. And through various metabolic processes, they also release this ROS and can cause oxidative stress. And that's also part of what causes that dysfunction. Because even the tissue that releases insulin is also at risk. Now, in our study, Ikekpeazu et al., 2011, we looked at the impact of oxidative stress on glycemic control in type 2 diabetic patients. So we evaluated the MDA level and the HbA1c. And then we classified the patients into two, those with good glycemic control and those with poor glycemic control. And when we looked at the MDA level, we saw that those with poor glycemic control had significantly raised HbA1c, which means that oxidative stress has an impact on the regulation of blood sugar measured as HbA1c. So this results indicate that oxidative stress can indeed affect type 2 diabetic patients. So overall, achieving metabolic harmony and maintaining a balance between glycemic control and oxidative stress is essential for effectively managing type 2 diabetic patients and reducing the risk of all the complications that go with it. Then in another study, we looked at an earlier study, as far back as 2001. We also looked at the level of one of the exogenous antioxidants, which is vitamin C. That was Ikekpeazu et al., 2001. Thank you. And we again categorized the patients into, we looked at patients who are insulin dependent and those who are non-insulin dependent diabetes patients, and we evaluated their ascorbic level. And we found out that both conditions will lead to reduced ascorbic level. And it was more for those who are insulin dependent. And so observation, or what we prescribed, was the control supplementation of this vitamin for this category of patients. Now, how do we balance health and lifestyle with respect to type 2 diabetic patients? First is dietary intervention. We have seen that if we have a balance of these antioxidants, which can help us to neutralize the ROS, then we can better manage these diabetic patients. So one is dietary intervention, for them to take those exogenous sources of antioxidants that can help to mitigate the effect of oxidative stress. And then stress management is on another, because it's been shown that stress in itself can induce oxidative stress. Then physical activity. Physical activity, again, is also another factor that can help us reduce oxidative stress. Then medication management is also important, because we can incorporate these antioxidants in the medication of these patients. The monitoring and regular checkup is also important. In the monitoring, we should also evaluate the antioxidant status of these patients to help in their management, not just looking at their blood sugar level. Then another study will explore the possible benefits or otherwise of physical exercise and their contribution to metabolic harmony and disharmony, based on the fact that even normal metabolic processes can generate ROS. And so in another work, Ikekpeazu and Ikekpeazu et al., 2016, we evaluated the oxidative stress and lipid polarization and antioxidant enzymes in apparently healthy individuals involved in physical exercise. So the study determined those two in adults aged between 18 and 25 years before and after morning exercise. And so we looked at, on one side, the total antioxidant status, and then on the other side, the pro-oxidant marker, which is MDA. And then, with that, we were able to determine the oxidative stress status of these individuals. And again, we also looked at the antioxidant enzymes, because they contribute to the endogenous antioxidants. And we saw that as TAS was increasing, the MDA was increasing, TAS was also increasing. And the concentration of these enzymes were also, the activity of these enzymes were also increasing, which means that exercise can induce the synthesis of this antioxidant enzyme and help to mitigate the effect of oxidative stress that follows physical activity. So, but then if you increase the level of activity in terms of exercise without adequate recovery, it may lead to oxidative stress overload that surpasses the body's antioxidant defense mechanism. And so, balancing health and lifestyle in the context of oxidative stress and physical exercise can involve moderation. We should moderate the level of exercise that we're doing. Because if you do exercise to extreme, it can trip to the side of oxidative stress, and that cannot deter the effect of physical exercise. Again, it's proper training regimens, then adequate rest and recovery, and then nutrient-rich diets with sufficient antioxidants to support the body's defense mechanisms. Then another work, Ikekpeazu, et al., 2020, we looked at another disease condition, and that was HIV. You remember the HIV epidemic several years ago took many to their early grave until the introduction of the antiretroviral therapy. Initially, it was a monotherapy that was based on one mechanism of action of this viral infection. And the patients did well. But however, because the virus has several mechanisms of infection, there was the introduction of a cocktail, which is called the highly active antiretroviral therapy. With this therapy, the patients did better, but then there was a problem because many researchers continue to point at the mitochondria as a source of toxicity that followed the use of heart. So again, we wanted to know whether the mitochondria or oxidative stress affected the mitochondria that led to that toxicity of individuals that are on HIV heart treatment. And so categorize them into those on long-term treatment and those on a short-term treatment. And we looked at their TAS, their MDA level, and their CD4 count. And we found that the long-term treatment group has significantly raised levels of MDA and significantly diminished TAS level, which meant that the oxidative stress may be a mechanism of mitochondrial toxicity. And then we didn't stop at that. We also looked at the genes of the mitochondria. And we did a genomic work that studied several regions of the mitochondrial gene. And we found out that there was copy number variation, elevated variation in the copy number of these genes, showing that indeed the mitochondria of these individuals were on assault due to the heart therapy. So what do we do? There should be regular monitoring of HIV patients on heart. And that monitoring should include oxidative stress status and their mitochondrial function. Then there should also be individualized therapy that will tailor regimens to minimize mitochondrial toxicity and metabolic side effects. And then can also choose antioxidant drugs that can lower the propensity of mitochondrial toxicity. And then there should also be lifestyle modification. HIV patients should adopt the healthy lifestyle habits, including a balanced diet, regular exercise, avoidance of smoking and excessive alcohol consumption, and stress management techniques. All of this is to mitigate the effect of the oxidative stress. Again, we looked at HIV patients that are even not on therapy. And then we also looked at some of these endogenous antioxidants, or exogenous antioxidants as well. Because it was shown that the virus itself can induce oxidative stress. And now we have also established that the drug treatment can also induce oxidative stress. So what did we do? We now looked at the level of all the antioxidant vitamins A, C, and E in these patients. And we saw that in all, the levels of these vitamins were significantly decreased. And that was under work in Ikekpeazu et al., 2009. So what do we do? So HIV patients undergoing highly active heart therapy face unique challenges related to antioxidant vitamin status and metabolic harmony. So knowing these dynamics is essential for optimizing health outcomes in this population. So we can conclude that maintaining optimal antioxidant status is critical for promoting metabolic harmony and supporting immune function in HIV patients on heart. So we should encourage patients to incorporate antioxidant-rich foods into their diet, such as fruits and vegetables, and whole grains, which can also help to mitigate oxidative stress and even inflammation. We go to lifestyle choices. On lifestyle choices, we're looking at those individuals who are on sedentary lifestyle. Now, what is sedentary lifestyle? It's a type of lifestyle that's common in modern civilization, which is characterized by sitting all day long in our offices. Of course, you have seen that modern civilization has made many people adopt this type of lifestyle. You work in the office, in air-conditioned offices, you leave your office, you move into a air-conditioned car, you go home in air-conditioned vehicle, you reach home and you balance your air-conditioned homes without any form of exercise. That is the form of sedentary lifestyle. And now what we did was to look at those workers that live a sedentary lifestyle. We decided to monitor their lipid profile. Lipid profile is just a battery of tests that tells us the lipid level of these of glandular disorder. And so that pair them with those who are also doing sedentary work, but they also do exercise. And that is probably by Ikekpeazu et al. 2009. So our study revealed that the lipid and lipoprotein profiles of these sedentary male and female workers were significantly increased. Reduced level of these lipids, which means that physical exercise can be of benefit for individuals who are living sedentary lifestyle. So facing unique challenges. Now, having seen that sedentary lifestyle can be, and our study showed that menopause and reduces the gradual cessation in synthesis of these reproductive hormones due to transition to menopause. This can happen, particularly lipid. So it is very important that we evaluate, that we, from time to time, you evaluate your lipid and lipoprotein during pregnancy. So studies have already suggested a possible predisposition of pregnant women, showing that even pregnancy cannot predispose these individuals to the risk of atherosclerosis and other complications of cardiovascular health. So, in fact, these women were even more protected than individuals who are not even pregnant, even as the gestational age advanced. Therefore, to support metabolic harmony during pregnancy, again, lifestyle modifications are also essential. Nutritional support should focus on adequate intake of essential fatty acids and these microminerals and prenatal vitamins to meet the increased demand during pregnancy. There should also be lifestyle modification, like managing stress, avoiding harmful substances, promoting healthy environment that can contribute to maternal and fetal well-being. And then we'll now go into the first one, which is the environmental factors. Now, metabolic harmony that is often linked to environmental factors can stem from various causes. Now, we know about what is called bisphenol A. Bisphenol A is a plasticizer that is used in most of the plastics that we use in our homes, as well as other metals like heavy metals like lead. And we looked at the level of these chemicals in our potable water sources because they are known to be endocrine disruptors that can lead to metabolic disharmony. And so the first one we did was on lead. We assessed the lead concentration in potable water. We used the Abakaliki Metropolis as a study area. That was by Ignatius Madoka in Ikekpeazu et al. 2012. So we sampled different water sources, tap water, well water, stream, and borehole, to find the value of lead or level of lead in these water sources. And what did we see? We saw that the tap water had the least level of lead, whereas the well water had the highest level of lead. So please, the air we breathe, the water we drink, the food we eat can be a source of all of these chemicals. For instance, we have seen in water that by drinking of well water can cause metabolic disharmony by increasing the lead concentration in the body, which can become toxic to some of the tissues and organs of the body. Now, so what are we advising? Please, in your homes, you can use your well water to wash, you can use it to flush your toilets, you can use it for other uses. Please do not drink well water. Another one is bisphenol A. We also did a work in this area. Should we worry about bisphenol A? We have so many uses of bisphenol A. Look at this diagram. You are seeing dietary sources and non-dietary sources. From baby bottles to water bottles to lunch boxes to water tanks to microwave utensils, all sorts of electronic gadgets. All these instruments has this plasticizer called bisphenol A. Should we worry about this chemical? So the widespread use of BPA in the production of household items as a raw material for industries is a source of public health concern. So what did we do? And so we evaluated BPA and environmental estrogen in potable water in Enugu municipality. That is done by the work of Medical and Ikekpeazu 2010. And our study showed a significantly increased level of both BPA and environmental estrogen in the different water sources, including even our tap water. So this is for the fact that incomplete removal of these hormone disruptors from public water treatment plants and thus the exposure of population in this regard, bringing about metabolic disharmony. So it's worrisome that these chemicals are found in a high concentration, even in a public water treatment plants. Now, then even the one that we harvested from rainwater, we also saw increased level of BPA, which indicates environmental contamination from industries. Then we now evaluated those that work in these plastic industries. Are they more exposed? Could there be occupational hazard because they are working in industries that use this bisphenol A? So we carried out and we evaluated the residual urinary BPA of plastic industry workers, so that we can see whether there's a possible predisposition of these workers to xenoestrogen. That is by work of Medical and Ikekpeazu 2014. So this time around, we evaluated BPA in the urine of these patients. And what did we see? The results showed an increase in the mean level of the urinary BPA output by these workers compared to their normal controls. Again, we also looked at the sex, whether sex is a determinant, and age. There was no problem with the age, but for sex, male individuals had higher level of this BPA in their urine than the females, which indicates that there could be accumulation of these plasticizer in the males, because we categorize them. And we found that those that have spent more than 6 years in industry showed a very high level of BPA outputs compared to those that have spent less than 6 years in the industry. So obviously there is occupational exposure of BPA. So we should bear that in mind. The volatile petroleum products was another. You know, I said the water we drink, the food we eat, even the air we breathe can also be a problem. So this time around, we evaluated those, the functions of some of the organs of the body for those, and we looked at some of the hydrocarbons. These hydrocarbons, like benzene, toluene, xylene, ethylbenzene, and lead, are always there, and they can classified as carcinogens, and they can other source of exposure. So we looked at the hematological parameters and the hepatic function, and we saw in our work by Ufele and Ikekpeazu 2020 that these individuals who are exposed to these products can have an increase in some of the hematological parameters that can lead to ineffective hematopoiesis. And there was also an increase in activity of some of the liver enzymes, which means that these are individuals, when they are exposed for too long in this industry, could have liver dysfunction. And it's also a source of worry. So what are the strategies for achieving metabolic harmony? If you look at that body, you're going to see balanced macronutrients, wholesome food emphasis, fiber-rich foods, mindful eating practices, regular physical activity, portion control, adequate hydration, regular timing of meals. How can we achieve metabolic harmony by doing this? For the balanced macronutrient intake, I've already mentioned that before. The studies have shown that moderate intake of each of the macronutrients, carbohydrates, proteins, and fats, can help to regulate metabolism and prevent metabolic disorders. The wholesome food emphasis. When you prioritize whole and unprocessed food, you can improve metabolic health by providing all the essential nutrients and then minimize intake of added sugar and unhealthy fats and additives that can cause metabolic disharmony. Then fiber-rich foods, including ample fiber in the diet, primarily from vegetables and fruits, can also help to regulate blood sugar level and promote the feeling of satiety that can contribute to metabolic balance. Then regular meal timing is also very important. Maintaining a consistent meal times is very important. And avoiding prolonged periods of fasting, overeating, which can lead to metabolic disharmony because they're going to cause fluctuations in blood sugar and insulin level. So please maintain a regular meal time. Take your morning breakfast at a particular time of the day, your lunch at a particular time of the day, and your dinner at a particular time of the day. The mindful eating practices. Practicing mindful eating, such as when you pay attention to hunger and fullness cues, once you're eating and you're full, stop eating. Eat your food, enjoy the food, chew it very well, because it will promote, to help in better digestion and even nutrient absorption, which I said earlier is part of what we do in metabolism, which can promote overall metabolic health. Then adequate hydration, we have said earlier, supports metabolic processes, because water is needed for digestion, it's needed for transport, it's needed for waste disposal. So it is important that we stay hydrated all day by drinking plenty of water. Portion control. Studies have also shown that portion control strategies, that is mindful portion sizes. These days, because of the economy, you don't overeat anymore, because they have the spoon they use in giving you different sizable portions that you cannot, so that you cannot overeat, and that will help you to promote weight management and improve metabolic parameters. Then regular physical exercise is important. When we incorporate regular exercise in our routine, it can help metabolic function, because to increase energy expenditure, you burn out the fat that you have taken in and the carbohydrates. It will improve insulin sensitivity and help to maintain metabolic harmony. So these strategies are very important. Then regular exercise and physical activity. We can see various types of regular exercises, from aerobic exercise like swimming and brisk walking and all of that, to resistance training that helps to build the muscles, to high intensity interval training where you do a short high intense exercise and you slow down for recovery. And then we have flexibility and balance exercises, which are where you have the yogas and all that. And then you have a gradual progression. You do your exercise, you don't continue in the same when you do some form of exercise, then don't continue at that tempo every time. You can gradually progress. Don't start doing exercise like you want to lose weight in one day. Do it gradually. Then regular activity throughout the day is also important. So sometimes in your home, you can walk up the steps and then come down. Don't stay in one place and be ordering people to get things for you. That is also another form of exercise. Then there's also consistency and variety. Variety is the spice of life. You can do one type today, do another type another day, and that helps to allow the muscle to recover. Then prioritizing quality sleep and relaxation techniques is another. We need to have adequate sleep duration. At least minimum of 7 to 9 hours a day is good for us to, during that period, the body replenishes all the things that you have lost, and then the muscle fibers are rebuilt and all of those. And so adequate sleep duration is very important. I say between 7 to 9 hours a day. Then also have a consistent sleep schedule. Anytime you want to sleep, you sleep at that particular time every day. And that will also help to be what is called circadian rhythm. And then sleep quality improvement. Your sleep should have quality, not to sleep and wake. When you sleep and wake, that will also cause some form of distress. And then stress reduction techniques is also important, which we'll meet shortly. And then physical activity is also very important. Then limiting screen time before bed. Some of us will use our laptops and our tablets. We continue using it until sleep. When we do that, we are disrupting our relaxation period, and we are disrupting our sleep, which is not good for metabolic harmony. And the relaxing bedtime rituals. Anything that makes you to feel good when you're going to bed should be encouraged. If you want to read a novel before you go to bed, fine. If you want to drink your milk before you go, fine. If you want to take warm water before, or warm bed before you go to, anything that will make you to gradually wind up and go to bed is also important in this regard. Then avoiding heavy meals before bed is also another. Do not eat very heavy meals before going to bed, because it's going to, you're going to have problems with the digestion and absorption of the food, and can cause things like bloating and other conditions of GIT. Then stress management practices. For stress management, we have already seen yoga, mindful meditation can help to reduce cortisol level, can increase insulin sensitivity, can also reduce blood sugar, which is good. Then deep breathing. When you breathe in and out deeply, it helps to relax your body. Then yoga also reduces stress and increases insulin sensitivity. Then we also have, when you do regular exercise, it reduces inflammation and increases insulin sensitivity. Then time management and prioritization is very important. When you manage your time, you will not become overwhelmed, so that anything you want to do, apportion time to it, so that you won't be overwhelmed when you have so many things at the same time. Then social support is also important. From time to time, go out with your friends, have a time out. And one of my friends here is Ngozi is here. Sometimes we go out on social outing, we come together in one house in one month of the week, one day of the week, or 1 month, one day of the month, and we just socialize and have a time of realization. That also helps to manage stress. Then healthy lifestyle habits. You can have all kinds of exercise you can engage in that helps you to manage stress. Then personalized approaches based on genetic factors and individual needs. We are unique as individuals, and we have a different genetic compositions. So we can do a metabolic profiling or typing and genetic testing, and then we'll be able to know what type of exercise that we should do, and our nutrition to be tailored to our genetic predisposition. And that's also the other area called the nutrigenomics. You have to continuously monitor yourself and get a feedback as to whether you're doing it well or not. Behavioral support and coaching is also important. People with similar ailments can come together and advise themselves and be coached to that personalized approach based on genetic factors and individual needs. Now, what are the challenges and barriers to achieving metabolic harmony? One is food environment. Do we have enough food in the environment? Sometimes marketing strategies and advertising can make you go to buy what you want to buy. Indian people, they make all the kinds of very vigorous marketing that can make you buy what you didn't plan to buy. Then culture, workplace culture. Those that work in the bank, they don't have enough time to even go to eat. They keep buying snacks, and then by the time they do know it, they're adding weight, they're causing problems for themselves. The social norms and peer influence. Individuals wanting to do, like those from Calabar, they will do their, what they call going to a fattening room and all that. Those are areas that can also change the metabolic harmony of those individuals. The socioeconomic factors, of course, that is tailored down to the amount of money that you have in your pocket. And then stress and mental health. We know that stress and mental health can affect one another. When you are stressed, it can affect your mental health. Then urban design and transportation. Thank God for the governor of Enugu State. Now, he's putting walkways in most of our roads so they can do your exercise, you can walk to your offices, you can walk along those pathways, and that helps you to get have your metabolic balance with respect to the environment. Then lack of awareness and education. We have a lot of nutritional misinformation. People carry the buses around and tell all kinds of stories about things they don't know about that are not founded on a scientific concepts. And so we should desist from listening to such stories. And then limited health literacies and other. Many of us are literate, but we are not literate with respect to health. You should get informed information concerning your health. Then inadequate nutritional education is also another. That tells the story for itself. Then cultural and dietary norms. People from our area, when they go to what is called Olakwa, they will eat all kinds of meals. They will eat the first one, abacha. In the same outing, they're eating a rice. They're asking for swallow. All in one outing. I haven't eaten this one. I haven't eaten that one. These cultural norms are not very good because they can make us add weight and bring about metabolic disharmony. Then complexity of metabolic processes is also another. And then we also have limited access to healthcare and resources. And then sometimes those that are faced with these metabolic challenges are stigmatized and they hide away from obtaining information that can help them. Then accessibility to health life resources. Food deserts where we don't even have enough food. Healthcare disparities, another, which tells the story for itself. Transportation challenges, people don't even have enough transport to go to where they can access health. Then cultural and linguistic barriers is also another. Financial constraints tells the story for itself. The rural and remote setting, those ones are also at risk of metabolic harmony because of their constraints. And then limited availability of physical activity and facilities. Of course, those in villages may not have the facilities to exercise, and that can also bring about some level of metabolic disharmony. What are the implications for health and lifestyle? Of course, first is management, prevention, and then management. They say prevention is better than cure. You can prevent by adopting some of these life challenges, lifestyle which we have already enumerated. Weight management, physical exercise, cessation of smoke, and all kinds of alcohol. Manage your stress very well. Take adequate food, and the ones that are rich in antioxidants. You can also use that to manage yourself if you're already down with a particular chronic condition. Then enhancing the overall well-being and longevity. Of course, when we change our lifestyle to help us to increase the quality of life, our physical health is touched, our mental health is touched, then longevity follows it. Social connection is also there. Resilience to stress, because some of these things can reduce stress. And then optimal aging. I mean, some of them can also reduce the process of aging. And finally, impact of health, mental health, and cognition. The diagram speaks for itself. Nutrition can impact on the brain health. Stress can do that. Then social conservative interventions that are IT-based, that are geared towards improving individuals to take care of their metabolic health. I have in my bag somewhere the gadgets that you can put in your body, and it can help you to monitor all the parameters in real time. So if you, for instance, if you're diabetic, you take any carbohydrate source, it's telling you how much of your blood sugar has gone up. And then so with that, you can monitor different sources of carbohydrate to see the one that will give you a spike in blood sugar level. And those ones that give you spikes in blood sugar level, you can begin to stop ingesting those types of carbohydrate diets. There are so many things that would have, when you now get the lecture book, you can now see other areas of future direction. There was something I learned from a place I went to several years ago. A particular day of the week, all the farmers in that community will bring in fruits from their farms. And they come to a particular place in that community and sell their goods somewhere in another state and rush for this event. Professor Joy Ebele, I thank you so much for being here. And the Emeritus Professor Obidua. And also my good friend, Professor Joy, who encouraged me to join the University of Nigeria and equally championed the process. To my handsome, intelligent, and gifted husband, let's see, Daddy. Professor Felix Ikekpeazu, your supportive role is what brought me to this level. You gave me the liberty to pursue my career and spearheaded my transition from UNH to UNN. You made me believe that it was never too late to aspire for greater heights. Thank you, Daddy. I deeply appreciate my lovely children. Mr. Dana Ikekpeazu is not here. Engineer Obinna Ikekpeazu, Obinna, are you here? Please wait to the audience. Then Dr. Chidinma Ikekpeazu, the star girl that was the best graduating student in medicine several years ago. And then my last son, Barrister Chuks Ikekpeazu. Chuks, are you here? He's never in one place. You guys are a very special gift from God to me. You were exemplary and exceptional children and never gave me any reason to worry as a mother. The peace and joy you gave me created the enabling environment for me to actualize my dreams. To my granddaughter, Somi Bekwe, I love you so much, my Somitos. My special thanks go to my son-in-law. Hey, Mr. Goze Bekwe, words cannot express my debt of gratitude to you. Your love and support is immeasurable. And I just want to let you know that you are the best in-law any mother can ever desire. My sister thanks equally go to your mom, Miss Pauline Ibekwe, my prayer warrior. I hope she's here, who relates with me like a dear sister. She here, Mrs. Ibekwe, are you here? I saw her when we were taking pictures. I'm deeply indebted to my late parents, Mr. and Mrs. Rufus Onwepugochukwu, who sacrificed and guided and molded us and not made us what we are today. My special thanks also go to my late brother, Professor Anthony Ugochukwu. I've already told you who he is, and his fatherly role was what, after our father's demise, was quite important to me. I not fail to acknowledge the role of my eldest sister, late Dr. Mrs. Rose Okechukwu, who until her death was director in the Senate. As a young youth corper in Kaduna State, she took me and enrolled me into Federal Government College, Malali, Kaduna, where I did my higher school. I'm seeing Professor Hararano. We met in school. That was how we became friends. She was very close to me. In fact, she was number 6 when I was in lower 6. And she was the one that made me love chemistry and biology. If you still remember, you gave me all your notes when you were leaving. And we have remained friends since then. Ebi, thank you so much. My sister Abigail Echem has been, and still is my source of inspiration and source of spiritual inspiration. My sister thank goes to my immediate elder brother, Dr. Kingsley Gochukwu, a family medicine physician in America, a man with a heart of gold. His financial support saw me through my PhD work, and his help and support made every process seamless. In case if you are watching, I thank you so much. My appreciation goes to my younger sister, Mrs. Pat Wonke. Patricia, are you here? Okay. Maybe running around in one of the event centers. You are always proud of me as a sister, and that has propelled me into continue to do better. I will not fail to thank my youngest brother. Engineering. His encouragement and support makes me push myself out of my comfort zone. To my wives of my 3 brothers, Chizoba, and Ijoma, I thank you all for your supportive rules. My nephew, Dr. Uzoma Okechukwu, I don't know if Uzoma is here, and his wife, Nkem, and my niece, Nazame Hiemere. I thank you immensely for your support. You saw me through this journey. My husbands, kids, they're here. Pazo and his wife, Nena. Mr. Chief kids, they're here. Pazo and his wife, Nena. Mr. Chief Koronko, their only sister. Mr. Vince and his brothers, America, I hope your man, his sister Tochi. Also, I said, I saw you earlier. And then, I wish you recognize watching, and in particular, Amenity community. You are represented. I saw some of you here. Chief, thank you for coming. My special thanks goes to my friends and colleagues who have collaborated with me. Dr. Mekaneb, I'm sure you're watching from UK. As a we. Oh. Finally, my friends, you're not left out in this appreciation. Many of you are part of this organizing committee. Chess will be a Jolo KCM against Otongozo Zaba, Ifi, Princess, and many others. I wish to thank you all my friends. I also wish to thank all my friends from Ogidi, the land of my birth, notably pharmacist Maki Deze, Sir Emmet Mbelo, and indeed the entire Umuyenu family. Then I cannot forget my traditional rulers. Some of them are here, some of them are not here. And I can, maybe with time we'll recognize some of you that are here. I thank you so much for coming. Fathers, I thank in a very special way our amiable and energetic current Bishop of Oji River, and space, not to mention the names of all those who deserve my thanks, but I therefore offer my general thanks to everyone whose life has been a blessing to me in my academic career. Finally, I want to appreciate the chairman, Professor Bennett Chimawanguma, for the tireless work he's doing in ensuring the smooth running of inaugural lectures. And Madam Sadiq, thank you for being here.
Tobe
Chuku, Tobe Chuku, Tobe Chuku, he has done it for me. Yeah, Tobe Chuku, Tobe Chuku, Tobe Chuku, he has done it for me.
Thank you very much. Please sit down.
He didn't say the Vice Chancellor first to be attended to. Immediately after that, we left immediately, and I'm happy I made a lecture. And of course, I know Professor, can we give him a... There is nobody here who did not learn one thing or the other. Everybody is living here with one thing. First and foremost, he said post-lecture comment. I don't have any comment. The comment I have is that we can't run away from metabolic disharmony. We can't run away from it. But the question is, what intriguing, I say, interesting, and people will look forward to, things we need to do. In the first place, there are ones you can't run away from. You can't run away, we are taking home. Is that what will, give us that nutrition and this thing? So we might resort to her method, which she told us about the village people. This is one of the best inaugural lectures I have listened to, in my own view. It's one of the best I've listened to, and I want to thank her for doing a great job. Please sit down, please. Stand up. You can see this thing is already climbing. We're already in 205. So if you've not given your inaugural lecture, please do well to pick a date, and Professor Wanguma will be willing to. He likes coming to Enugu. He knows that I take care of him whenever he comes to Enugu. So please pick a date, and let's keep the ball rolling. Enugu is doing well, and I want to encourage us to continue in that direction. Please, on behalf of the Vice Chancellor, Professor Charles Arise Chukwuigwe, who was or is unavoidably absent. He went on assignment given to him by the minister to represent the minister. I went to represent him. The provost came to represent me. So everybody is representing one person. On behalf of the Vice Chancellor, I want to give you this certificate of presentation that reads, University of Nigeria, be it known that Professor Joy Ebele Ikekpeazu of the Department of Medical Biochemistry, you wrote Basic Medical Sciences. Chairman, please, you have to correct the department, please. Delivered the 205th Inaugural Lecture of the University of Nigeria entitled Metabolic Harmony and Disharmony, Balancing Health and Lifestyle on the 23rd day of May 2024. Congratulations. Also to go with it, I am presenting this plaque from the university as well, our inaugural lecture series, Professor Joy Ebele Ikekpeazu, 205th Inaugural Lecture. Thank you. Congratulations. Don't worry, let me carry it. Now, we know that Archie is a very big town. So many, it's not bigger than my own town. I don't know why you are. But Archie is very big, and there are so many of them here. You have so many friends. You've listed and listed, spent almost 30 minutes thanking them. And because today is your day, we just decided to keep quiet. So we have 50 copies of your inaugural lecture, which the university has given you to distribute to your friends and family members. my dean. Congratulations once again. Congratulations. I'll hand over the microphone back to the chairman of Senate ceremonial.
Thank you, Chairman. Thank you very much. With the Chairman's permission, what group is this? Sorry? The 300 level students? Sorry? So which is a happy day. So take a minute and make your presentation.
Thank you very much. Of the greatest Nigerian students, I want to deeply appreciate our mother for doing this. And I want to establish something that this inaugural lecture is far the most student-attended inaugural lecture that I have witnessed. And it is because she is not just a lecturer. I want to honor you. A lot of plaques will be coming to you, but I brought this customized booklet because you're a professor and who she has impacted both in 500 level medicine, in final year HESA, and all of them brought together, and we created this particular presentation that we're making today. So on behalf of the students, as the Assistant Secretary General of the Students' Union, and the President of National Council of Enugu State Students, and the Vice President of the University of Nigeria Debating Society, formal ASG of the University of Nigeria Medical Students Association, I make this presentation to you. Congratulations.
Thank you. So let's take the one from the Lexia Foundation.
Everybody, my name is Sebastian. I'm the president of the Medical Foundation, and our aim is to create an more inclusive society. That each individuals will have the opportunity to live a dignified and a healthy life. Before I proceed, I would like to call on our patron, Professor Obikili, to come and Emmanuel Obikili to come and help us and make the presentation.
I think that you're the president, and it's good that the president make a presentation. But now we are ADC.
Okay. We're presenting an award of excellence to Professor Joy Ebele Ikekpeazu, Professor of Medical Biochemistry, in recognition of her selfless services as a philanthropist and unyearly support towards the growth of Elixir Medical Foundation. Mom, we say thank you for all your support. You embrace charity. And I would like to use the opportunity to encourage everyone. Let's all embrace charity. It doesn't fail. The world can never be changed by your opinion, rather by your examples. Charity is something that when you embrace it, our society will be more better than this. Thank you. God bless you, Mom. I really appreciate
So 300 level students. So you have 1 minute to make a presentation. Who is speaking for you?
All right. Good evening, everyone. I'll be precise. So we are here, the representative of 300 level students of medicine and surgery, dentistry and health. We want to honor our mommy as being a mother, and in recognition of her unwavering support all this while, we are here with hand-crafted portraits to say thank you, Mom, for what you have represented to our life. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone. So may I make the following announcements. The next inaugural lecture, the 206th inaugural lecture, will be presented by Professor Ijoma Lewechi Okoronkwo. Is she in the house? Professor Ijoma Lewechi Okoronkwo. Oh, okay. Please, an applause for her. She's a professor of nursing administration and management, and her topic is, wait for it, nurses from silence to voice in the Nigerian healthcare system, the journey of a transformational nurse academic. That's a ritual. Nurses from silence to voice in the Nigerian healthcare system, the journey of a transformational nurse academic. And that's on June the 13th, Thursday, June the 13th, 2024, right here at the mid-court. That'll be the next one. It looks like my committee is going to get the much-deserved break, about a 3-week break, because we have been running on all cylinders. We're running dry. As some of you may know, we even had a special convocation on Tuesday this week to honor Professor Ella Natui, a very outstanding, globally acclaimed academic who couldn't make it to the 52nd convocation ceremony. The management thought it wise to schedule a special convocation at a time that was convenient for him. So he flew all the way from Ghana to come and receive his, the honorary doctorate degree, D.Lit, that was to be awarded for him. And he flew from there to the United States to receive another honorary doctorate degree. That's the level at which we were flying on Tuesday. So we're happy to be here. The LOC, the organizers of today's inaugural lecture, well, I'm the organizer, but the organizers of the item 7 of today's inaugural lecture have requested that I make this announcement as it concerns refreshments. And so the university management and past inaugural lecturers will be served their refreshment at the office of the DVC. They know where that is. Then other academic and senior administrative staff will be served lunch at the main hall. And then all those from Achi, the big town of Achi, and all the special friends of Professor Ikekpeazu will be served lunch at the CIMAC conference room. And the non-teaching staff will be served lunch at the Chapel of Redemption Hall, while all students, lion and lionesses, have been requested to stay back here, and they'll be served lunch right here at the moot court. Is there a need to repeat that? I don't see one. The Vice Chancellor, Chairman, on behalf of the Senior Ceremonials Committee, may I thank all of you, everyone who has come to make today a special day for Professor Ikekpeazu. So I thank the Vice Chancellor who funded everything that we've done here today. And thank him also for finding a deserving chairman to represent him. Like the DVC Enugu campus said, it's been an incredibly busy day for all of them. I can tell you, as we speak, all the deputy vice chancellors are somewhere representing the vice chancellor. The 3 of them are all engaged. The vice chancellor himself is out representing the minister. It's a busy, busy day for them all. So we thank the deputy vice chancellor of Enugu campus who had to make the long journey. I was wondering if he traveled with his gown or if he came back, got robed, and then came to sit in and chair this lecture. Thank you very much, DVC. I also thank the provost of the College of Medicine who willingly stood in, but who willingly gave up the seat when the DVC Enugu campus showed up. I also thank the former DVC of Enugu campus. I like it when I see Professor Edith Mosu show up for these events. I wonder why she doesn't come often, but madam, it's a pleasure to have you in the house today. I also thank the provost of the College of Postgraduate Studies, Professor Obioma Njoko. If you know what it takes to travel from Nsukka to this place, it takes courage. It takes quite a lot of courage to come with all the news that we get, but I know we're protected and we're safe as we travel back and forth in the course of duty. I also thank the past inaugural lecturers and professors emeriti who showed up to make this a rich inaugural. I appreciate the professors, members of the University Senate, and the guests and family of the inaugural lecturer, especially those that have come from the 2 said she was born here and married to the other one. Please, thank you for showing up. I'm sure you noticed that she's in safe hands. She's in very safe and protective hands here at the University of Nigeria. I also thank all the admin and teaching staff of the University of Nigeria who also showed up, the great lions and lionesses. You've shown some appreciation of your lecturer, and thank you for being there. I'm always glad when everything goes to plan, so I'd like to appreciate the work that the technical team are doing, including my own music department, who do this song. They're going to do us one more song. I've already talked with them, and I'll tell you why. And my committee, thank you very much for putting this together. I was very busy with the convocation ceremony, and I was wondering if they remember that we'll have an inaugural 2 days after that. But, you know, they got it done, and I'm thankful. The director of the University Press is not here, but I have very, very deep appreciation, because without the booklet, we won't have a proper inaugural lecture. I also like the warmth that I noticed with the Faculty of Medical Sciences and the Department of Medical Biochemistry. I like that love. I could feel it from here. Thank you for showing up for one of your own. Thank you very, very much. If I've left out anyone, my deepest apologies. Thank you everyone who has showed up to make this a brilliant inaugural lecture. But I have this announcement to make. Not only for this inaugural, at every inaugural lecture, the University of Nigeria song, even at our convocation, it has the power to unite, and it has the power to literally light up our venues whenever we have an academic event. But early this week, we received the very sad news that the gentleman who composed that song as a student of music joined his ancestors. And at the convocation we had on Tuesday, the Vice Chancellor accepted that we observe a minute silence in his honor. The Chairman, if I have your permission, we're going to observe a minute silence in honor of Sir Sam Ojukwu, who wrote the University of Nigeria song as a class assignment as a third year or fourth year student of the Department of Music, as an undergrad. So we're going to honor him with a minute silence, and right after, sing that song. Sing it like we mean it. Sing it like a tribute to him. That will be before the national anthem. So please may we rise for a minute silence. May the soul of Sir Sam Ojukwu and the souls of all the faithful departed rest in peace. Amen. The University of Nigeria song.
University of Nigeria, my alma mater. Hail and rejoice for the sake of truth. We're young men and women to seek for knowledge. Hail and rejoice for the sake of knowledge. Where the nation's potentials to look and live. Hail and rejoice for the giant time. University by excellence, our dreams come true. Hail and rejoice for the giants always. My alma mater, my alma mater. Noble Andalus, saying thy deep and greater love in science and in art, in all the realms of men, the arts of man. University of Nigeria, my alma mater. Hail and rejoice for our loftiness. The varsity that excited on the soft green hills. Hail and rejoice for our beauty sing. University of our glory, the pride of our land. Hail and rejoice for the light will shine. University by excellence, our dreams are true. Hail and rejoice for the giants always. My alma mater, my alma mater. Noble Andalus, say thy deep and greater love in science, in art, in all the realms of men, thou art awesome.
May we take the national anthem.
O God of creation, direct the noble cause, guide our leaders right, help our youth the truth to know, in love and honesty to grow and live in those new truths. Love to guide our team to build a nation where peace and justice reign.
Thank you. May I take a minute to announce that the end of tenure activities for the 15th Vice Chancellor should have started today, but they're starting now tomorrow. May I request that we all do the much we can to participate in those activities? Some of it will be taking place here at the Enugu campus, some at Itukwozala, and some at the Nsukka campus. Thank you very much. Sir, could you please say the closing prayer, and after that, the recession? Thank you.
Our most gracious Father, we thank you for this wonderful hour of being together and having communion with one another and with you. Father, eternity will not be enough for us to testify of your goodness unto us. Lord, as we go, we pray, may we not depart from your presence. Lord God, abide with us, and at the end of time, gracious Lord, may we be found worthy of your eternal kingdom. All this we ask in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit.
Please, can we maintain our standing position and allow the members of the high table recess the hall first? Can we maintain our standing position wherever we are and allow members of the high table recess the hall? On behalf of the university management, I want to say a very big thank you to all of you who made today's event a wonderful one. Thank you for gracing the event and making it so colorful. And for those who will be traveling back, we wish you journey mercies back to your destination. Thank you and God bless you. Please maintain your standing position. Maintain your standing position, please.